This conference will now be recorded.
This is the content of this as of now the session will be. So topics to be covered in this course is introduction. So of introduction of Python. So why the name Python and Python a high level language. So why we are calling as Python is Python. Python is multiple paradigm and then object oriented versus procedure oriented and history of Python and what are the features of Python and where we need to use that Python. So areas Python is being used, execution of Python and Python releases. So what are the versions it is releasing day by day, like that we can install it. And then so companies using Python. So which companies are majorly using Python for that one. So how to install Python and writing a simple code on Python using something, ideally or whatever it may be, we install that one. So and what is meant by identifiers, data types, and operators. So today's concept is all these things. So you can go through one by one, one by one. Okay. So coming to introduction here, so Python is an interpreted language. So what is meant by interpreted and compiler? You guys have any idea about that one? So anyone can explain me what is the difference between compiler and interpreter? Anyone, no problem. From your side, if you have any question, if you have any idea, just tell me, and after that I will go through that one. If not, then I can proceed with the remarks. I can explain you in the simple points. Can I go ahead and explain that one? If you guys are not able, suppose I'm just taking this one. Okay. So here we are writing some code, right? Something like print of hello world. Okay. So next we are writing something print of welcome to Python demo session. Okay. So when I run that particular code, whatever it is running, so it will check the line by line execution code, right? So here I have written 2 lines of code. So first it will check the syntax of the first line. Okay, the syntax is correct, then only it will move to the next line. So print is a one inbuilt function. So print is a inbuilt function. When we are installing Python, automatically it will install into your station. So print is a output. It is an inbuilt function, and it is getting to output to get the output of the whatever the input we are giving. So in the print statement, we are passing some statement, right? So that is a string or whatever it may be. Suppose here I need to print of, okay, 10 comma 20, 10 plus 20. Okay. So if you run that one, it will just execute that particular part also. So you are getting output as 30. So here it is checking the syntax of the each line by line execution. So if there is some syntax error, it is there, it will stop the execution in the first line itself. It doesn't move to the next line. So here it is showing the error like syntax error end of line while scanning string literal. That means here the string whatever we have started here, it has started with double quotes and it is not ended with anything. So that is the reason why it is throwing the error. If suppose I'm just keeping the double quotes itself and once again I'm running the code, so it will just run. So you are getting hello world, welcome to Python demo session, and then 30. So here I'm just using single quote here. Okay, and the end I'm keeping double quotes here. So first line the syntax is correct, then it will go to the next line. So in the here the single quote is started and but the end we are being double quotes, right? So then also it will throw the error here. So the same error. So see here syntax error, end of line while scanning string literal. So that means whatever the syntax we have started with base thing here, so we need to keep with the same thing. So here also if I keep single quote, then it will run the code exactly whatever we need. So that is known as interpreter. So first point is interpreter. So Python is an interpreter. Interpreter means line by line execution. Whatever the code we are writing, that is high level language. So that can be understandable by the computer. Okay. So the computer So and then it will convert that one into zeros and ones, machine code and all. I will explain that one. Okay. So it will check each and every line of the code, and if there is any errors in that particular code, it will just it doesn't move to the next line. If there is some syntax error in the first line itself, it doesn't move the second line. So that is known as interpreter. So Python is an interpreter language, but compared to Java, C, C++ are so compiled language. So what is the difference between? I will show you that one. Okay. Here I will do that. So first point is that is the thing. Python is an interpreted language. So next is high level language. So what is meant by high level language means whatever the code we are writing, that is human understandable language. That is here we are able to understand, right? So this is the print statement and hello world is the English statement. Whatever we are able to understand that one and human able to understand that one. So we can call it as high level language. So here if we suppose here I am writing some function. Okay. So here I am passing num1 comma num2. So this is the def is a keyword. Okay. Sum is a some function name. And here I am passing two parameters like num1 comma num2. So this is colon, that is indentation we can call it as. So written. So num1 into num2 I am just passing. So don't worry about these examples. I'm just explaining the simple thing how it is working and all. Okay. So now I'm calling that particular function. So print of that function I need to call. Here I'm passing 10 comma 20. Okay. So if this function num1 num1 equal to 10 it will take num2 equal to 20 and return 10 into 20. You need to get the output as 200 here. Okay. So now see. So you are getting the output, right? So it is checking the each and every line of the code. Okay. If there is an error, it doesn't move to the next line. And second point is so high level language. High level language means whatever the code we are writing that is able to understand with the human understandable language. Okay. So once after that viewing that language, it will convert into machine language. That part I will explain later. Okay. So up to now, any questions here? What is meant by interpreter and what is meant by high level programming language? Anyone, please. If you have any questions, you can ask. Okay, no problem. I can just move. So what is the next point is general purpose programming language created by Guido van Rossum and first released in 1991. So what is meant by general purpose means suppose I need to do some calculation. Okay, suppose I need to do something like some math module. So here I'm just importing math module. Okay, so don't worry about all these things. So I need to do find the factorial of some number math dot factorial of something I need to find 100 factorial. Okay, so here this is the factorial of that thing. So this is the normal thing, general purpose. Generally we need to find the factorial of that thing. So how to find that one? So there is some modules called inbuilt modules. When we are installing Python, automatically those modules will be installed into your station. Okay. So then we can find by using math dot that function name. You can use it. So if you go to ideally once see here once after the Python is installed into your station, there will be one tool called ideally will be installed. So if you open that one, so what are the modules installed by default when you are installing Python? I can show you that one. So here you can go and then just search here. You can write help of modules, okay, and then keep it in double quotes or single quotes, whatever it will. It will take some time. Please wait a moment while I gather a list of all available modules. It will take one minute. Just take 1 minute. Here you can see. So what are the modules installed by default when you are installing Python? So here if you see this one, so math module you can check it for. So math module is there. So here I'm just importing that particular module. You don't need to write that code for that one. So you just need to import that module. So import space math. Okay. So math dot you can keep math dot you can keep view tab. Okay. It will show the all the methods whatever it is showing. So suppose I need to find math dot seal function. Okay. So I'm giving some value for this one. So 4.5. So seal means what? What is meant by seal? So the upside one. So whatever the building it is having, seal means it is having upside value, right? So I need to give math.seal.4.5 means it is getting output as 5. And if one more function is there, math.floor function is there. Yep, view tag, it will give that one. So floor of 4.5 I'm giving. Okay. So now it should get the output as 4, right? In the same way, math.factorial function is there. Okay, factorial of 5. So here we are getting 120. So this is all known as general purpose programming language. When we are installing Python, automatically this will be installed and you can use according to your purpose. So here, suppose I need to add two numbers. Okay, a comma b comma c equal to I'm giving 10 comma 20 comma 30. Okay, here I need to add all those elements. So print a plus b plus c. So you are getting outputs. So you can do a into b into c also, like a into so multiplication that one we can call it. So you are getting 6,000. So a by b by c also you can do it. All these things. So modular division also you can do it. So you are getting 0. Okay. So these are all known as general purpose programming language. Python is an both interpreted high level language and so general purpose programming language. Okay. So who is created means Gudovan Rusum. This is the person. If you search for that particular person, who is the person means this is the person. So this is the guy who developed Python. So he's a Dutch program best known as the creator for Python programming language, for which he was the Ben-nominated dictator for life until he stepped down the position in July 2018. Previously, he was a member of the Python programming language. Okay, so this is the guy. So where he has born and why he has developed Python, all these things is there in that particular wiki page, Gudovan Rusum. Okay. So next one, Python supports modules and packages which encourage program modularity and code reuse. So what is meant by module and what is meant by package? So whatever the code I am writing here, suppose here I am taking one file. Okay. So new file. Okay. Suppose here I am writing sum of a comma b. Okay. So here I am writing return a into b. Okay. So this is the function declaration. I need to call that particular function now. Okay. Print out sum of. Okay. Now I am calling 1000 comma 2000. Okay. I'm just doing that one. So save that particular file into some other location. I'm just saving to desktop. So here I'm creating one more folder, Python demo kind of thing. Okay. So in that sample.py I'm just saving. Okay. So at that time extension should be py. Okay. .py should be file. So now it is saved that particular file. If I want to run that particular file, go to run here, click on run module. Okay. So here we are getting some 20 lakhs, right? So I am closing this one and just once again running that one, we can understand more. So this is the output what we are getting for that particular function. Okay. So this is the code what I have written in sample.py file. If I need to reuse this code in another file, like sample.py file is the one file. So I need to reuse this particular function in another file, like sample1.py or sample2.py, whatever it may be. So how to reuse that one? So there comes the module will comes. So module means one whatever the file name we are saving with .py file, one file we can call it as one module. Okay, what is the use of that one is we can use the ports whatever the variables we are using in that particular function. Suppose here I'm taking 100 also. Okay, by equal to 2000. Okay, so I'm saving that one. One more file I'm taking now. Okay, so I need to import that particular file name now. Here I need to call use that particular function. So I'm just importing import sample. Okay, so here I'm writing print of sample dot so the file name dot so sum of here I'm passing 34 comma 67. Two values I'm passing, right? So I'm just passing that one. Now print of sample.x. I need to access from that particular variable. Okay. And then print of sample.y. Okay. So here you can, instead of accessing from here, you can access from another variable also. I'm just commenting that line. So here I will save it. Okay. Fine. Save as in the same location. You can keep it sample1.py, or else you can use sample underscore module accessing. Okay. Dot py. You can keep it. Okay. That is there. Now if I go to run button, click on here, run module, you can see that one. So see here. So we are accessing what is the variable 34 into 67, or else I can keep it for your purpose 3 into 6 I am keeping. Okay. For your better understanding now, as of now. Okay. So any value you can take it, not a problem. Okay. So just go to run, click on run module. So you are getting 18 here, and then I am accessing this variable from another variable sample.x. So what is the variable I am defining for the x? 1000 I am defining, and for the y I am defining 2000. So here we are able to access that one, right? So this is known as module accessing. So once we are creating one file, if I want to reuse that code in another files, we can go for the modules. So that is the second point here. Okay. Second point is, so Python supports modules and modules. So this is the what is meant by module means. So module means each and every Python file what we save, we can call it as one module. And package. So what is meant by package means, so here if you see, if I'm going to that particular directory, whatever I have created now, so desktop location. So here I have kept Python demo, right? So here I have created two files. Okay, these two files is known as two files are known as modules. So inside that one we have created one folder, that is Python demo. So this Python demo we can call it as one package. Okay, this package I need to call in another package also. How to do that one I can explain later. So how the Python will treat that one as a package means, here again we need to create one more file, like, so if go to unit new, here we can create text file. Okay, that one should be underscore underscore init underscore dot py file. Okay, you need to create that one file. You need to remove that extension. Just change it. So now it will treat that one as a package. This Python demo is a one package now. So under that, whatever the content I am just using, underscore underscore init.py file, Python will treat that one as a demo package. Okay, Python demo as a one package. Under that, two files is there: sample.py, sample underscore module underscore accessing.py. These are the modules, and this is the Python demo is an so package. So if I want to access that module in packaging under another package, okay, how to do that one? So just to go to click on this folder, here I'm putting Python demo 1. Okay, so now also the same thing, here also the same thing. Okay, so here what I'm doing, demo 1 is there. So here also I will create a new file, open new text file. You can create it first one instead of, okay, dot py. Okay, I'm just removing the text file now. Okay, reread it. So now here once again I'm creating two more files. Okay, here I need to access that particular file, right? So here instead of that one, you can create it from here. I can create it cmd. Okay, so type space. So demo1.py I'm putting name. So instead of incorrect, no problem, but it will create file for us, right? So now I'm just opening with ideally or whatever it may be, notepad plus plus whatever it may be. Okay. So how to use that one? So what are the modules is there? I just created. So how to use that one means, so there is one module called import sys module is there. Okay. So import sys. So this is the file I have written. So import sys module is there. Okay. So sys dot. So if you see path method also will be there. Path dot append off. So we need to give the whole path of that one. Whole path of the that whatever the path I am just writing this one. So here this is the function. So here we need to give that whole path now. So I'm just going to that particular part, Python demo. Okay, I'm just giving a particular path here. So here also you need to use double slash. Okay. So now I have given that particular path now. So here I need to access that whole path now. Okay. Then what I can do is, so here, what is the file name here? We have created for that one sample, right? Yeah. Okay. Sample dot. What is the method I have used? Sum of. Okay. Here I'm using 10 comma 20. So print of sample dot. Okay. Now this is the function what I am having, and one more function is print of sample dot x is also there, right? We can access that variable also. Print of sample dot y is also there. Okay. Now we can run it this one, and you can see what is the output you are getting. Python space demo 1.0. So name sample is not defined. Okay, that particular path we need to check once again. One second, I can just check it. Python demo. Okay, this is the one sample from. Okay, sample only we have defined. Import sample. Sorry, here we need to import sample. So now if I run that one, we'll get out. So see here, from another package we are calling that one. So this is a different package now. Python demo one, under that one more file is there, right? So demo 1.py file is there. So how we are accessing from another package? So this is one package and Python demo is another package, right? This is under another package. 1 second. Hello. Yeah, if you have any questions, please raise now itself. Okay. So see here, Python supports modules and packages which encourages program modularity and code reuse. So we are not writing the same code again and again. We are just reusing that code. Okay. So this is second point. So third point is the Python interpreter and the extensive standard library are available in source or binary form without change for all major platforms and can be freely distributed. What is meant by Python interpreter? So as we have seen this one, so ideally once I open that one, after typing help of modules, you are seeing lot of modules, right? So that is known as interpreter. Okay, line by line execution we can call it as. So here also you can just check it that one. So help of print of help of modules, you can print it. Okay, so it is having lot of modules is there. So just go to run, click on run module. Okay, so that is known as So Python interpret extended standard library are available in source or binary form without change for all major platforms. That means for Windows or Linux, whatever it may be, once we create that Python file and we can run that particular Python file in anywhere. So this is known as what we can call it as is we can transfer that code to any other system. It's not a one system can't able to run that particular code in another system like that. Okay. So that is the freely distributed we can do it. So then Python was developed by Guido van Rossum in 1989 while working at Nation Netherlands. Okay. So why the Python came into existence means Python was considered in the late 1980s as a successor to the ABC language. So first they are developing ABC language and then based on the conditions they have developed this Python. If you see this one ABC language, so what is meant by that thing? So ABC is an imperative general purpose programming language and integrated development language environment developed at Central Visconde and Informatica, Netherlands by these guys. Okay. It is interactive, structured, high level, and intended to be used instead of basic password. These are also the programming language, AWK and all. Okay. So designers claim that every quarter size. Okay, sure. I can explain once again, no problem. So suppose these are the demo one file. Okay. So here are one more file I'm creating. Okay. Like text file, you can take it, or else after that you can put it demo2.py file. I'm just putting that one as a demo2.py. Okay. So you can put it that name. Yes, change it that one. So I'm just opening that particular file now. Okay. Anything you can open it anywhere, no problem. So first we need to import that. So here two packages we have created. One is demo. So if you see two packages, one is so this is Python demo. Okay, this is the one package. You can call it as why Python will treat that one as a package means underscore in.py file is there. Okay, one more package we have created is Python demo one. So this package I need to from this package I need to access that package. Whatever the files is there, I need to access this package. Okay, for that reason I'm just creating two more files like demo1.py, demo2.py. Okay, so here I'm just need to import sys. Sys module is the inbuilt function to access over your system. Okay, for that one sys.path. So some functions is there. If you go to IDLE here, I can show you what are the functions is there in that one. So import sys. Okay, sys module is there. Sys dot give tab. It will show the some functions. So give p. Okay, path is there, right? Path is there. Then just this one append. So function is there. It is showing that append object to the end of the list. So it will add that particular path to your directory. So that is the thing. Here we need to pass at least one argument. So that is the reason here I am passing one argument for that one. So here I need to give the whole path of the previously created. Can we use OS function for changing the directory? OS dot that is different. That is different. So for running this module packages and all, please ask me instead of messaging here directly. You can ask me. That is good, I think. Raise your questions, please.
Sir, why can't we use OS import OS library, sir, for this?
So we are why we are OS modules means only for changing directory, but here we are appending that one. We are just appending to that particular path. We need to access that particular path from one location to another location. But changing is different and appending is different, right? You got my point? What I'm trying to say?
No, sir. What's the difference between changing and appending, sir?
See here, I need to go to some other directory here. Okay, dir function. So this is the Python files is there. Okay, if suppose I need to come down here. Okay, this is coming down, right? This is the changing directory. But appending is we are adding that one. So here I need to go to here. This is the Python demo session. We are appending that one. So now I appended that to desktop. I appended this Python demo session. Okay, previously I deleted that data coming down that one, right? Changing directory. So that is the difference between. So appending that particular part to access those all those values whatever we have defined in another package. You got my point? What I'm trying to say? So if you see,
No, sir.
I will explain you in just a minute. I can explain in the simple example itself. Okay. After that, you will come to know that. So I'm just giving the whole path, this one. Okay. Don't worry about that one. So this is the thing. And one more file I have created, right? In that demo one, here I have created two files. Sample module I have created. So again, one I am creating import sample itself, I will call. So print of sample dot. Okay. So here I am creating sample dot 10 90 190 comma 10. Okay. So in the same way, print of sample dot x I am putting print of sample dot y. So here I need to run this particular file. Okay. So now go to open container in CMD. So Python space that file name demo2.py. Okay. Did I use anything here? All right. One second. Yeah. Yeah. Now we can see. So what are the values you are getting? Not this one. py demo2.py. Yeah. So you are getting 1900, 1000, 2000, whatever we defined from that particular function. Here we are able to access that one. So this is known as appending. So your question is right now different, right? So I can show you that one. Ideally, open once. Okay. So why we need to use for OS module? Okay. Import OS is there. Okay. OS dot. Okay. Give tab, and here all these functions is there, right? So change directory is there. Okay. Change directory of here I need to pass. So right now, if I need to check that what is the path means, so OS dot path.
Get CWD.
So make directory I'm putting.
OS.get CWD, sir, to get the path.
Yeah, current path. Yeah. So right now it is in this path. So I need to change to some other directory now. Okay. OS dot one function. You don't need to remember all these things. Change directory you can use it instead of that one. Okay. Change directory. So here instead of that one, here I'm giving whatever the directory I need. Okay, right now. So I'm just giving this C directory now. Okay. So now if I type os.get CWD, it will just change it to that directory. What are the Python file? Okay, I can give that particular path. 1 second. Keyboard. Here I'm giving this path. Okay, double slash we need to give. So now if I type os dot, so see here, it is changed to the directory, right? So this is the difference between OS module and sys module. Sys module is for the appending function. We are changing directory and all these things. So when we need to use OS module means we need to, whenever we need to change the directories and all. But for that sys module, when we are using, so appending that particular function, when we need to access one location to another location. Accessing the location, here we are just changing the directory. So this is the difference between those things. Okay. Got it?
Changing the directory means it should come down, right?
Why? I'm just changing previously what is the directory. So previously it was the directory of Python 38, right?
Okay.
So right now I change it to this directory, change directory. So this directory, I need to change instead of this directory, I need to change it to this directory I'm giving. So it's not change directory of this directory. Okay. So that's why it is changing to the directory. When whatever the direct right now it is there, if I close that one, again it will go to the same location. So if I go to once again, IDLE itself. So again I'm typing the import OS only. Okay. OS dot get CWD. Okay. Now again it will come the main directory itself. Okay, main directory, right? I need to change to some other directory if I want to move to display all functions.py. Okay, here I need to go to that one. So I need to copy that particular path and I need to change to that directory now. Okay, so what I'm doing was dot change dir. I need to give that particular path, whole path. In the double quotes or single quotes, whatever it will be. Here we need to give double slash for that one to understand that code.
We can use raw, sir.
What raw function?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no problem. It's up to us. Whatever we need, we can use it. That's not a problem. One second. Display from Python file is one type. And yeah, you can check now. Let's see WD. So now it is changed to that demo session, Python demo session. So this is the thing, OS module and sys module. Okay, got it. Still, if you have any questions, we are just changing the directory, but there we are accessing from one directory to another directory. Okay, I'm just moving ahead. Where we have stopped this one, ABC language, right? So next, so but Python officially was made available to public in 1991. The official date of birth for Python is February 20th, 1991. It is recommended as the first programming language for beginners. Why? Because if you go for Python instead of Python, Java, C, C++, we need to remember all the syntax. So for that reason, if I go to this one, if you go to online Python Java compiler, okay. So here we need to remember all the syntaxes. So even if we miss one thing, it will throw the error. Okay. So here writing public class hello world and then public static void then string array of and then sys.out.println of hello world. Right. So if I go to execute button, we are getting hello world here. Right. Here we are getting hello world. First we need to compile that code and then it is running that particular code here. So even if I miss semicolon here, it will throw the error at that particular point. So what is the difference between compiler and interpreter means? So compiler it will read each and every line. If there is any error in the first line itself, it doesn't move to the next line. But Java is a compiled language. As Java is compiled language, it will read the whole code, whatever the code I have written, and it will throw the errors at the end of the code. It will run that code and it will throw the errors at one time. Okay. If I run that one, let's see now what it will throw. So see here, it is run code, and then it is showing that semicolon is expected at which line, fourth line. So that is the thing. Here I'm keeping semicolon now. So here I'm removing this one. Okay. So I'm just running now. Let's see. So it is throwing the error at hello.world. This one. Here it is showing the error. Right. What we have removed that one there. So here also the same thing. One second, it is not removing. Okay, this bracket. So for the writing the print statement, we are writing bracket. So if we run that one, let's see. Once again, you will get the output. So here I am removing that bracket here. Okay, it will throw the error at that particular point now. So it is throwing the error at this one. So why? Because means in the sixth line it is ending that one. Okay, but for that one it is not there. So it is the extra one it is showing up. So for that reason we need to keep that one. So we need to remember all the syntaxes in Java. But coming to Python, so as we have seen in online Python compiler, the same code I will run it. So Python hello world only. Okay. So you no need to remember all those things. We are just writing printf hello world, right? So that's why you can call it as Python is a, for even 10th class students also can able to understand Python very easily. Okay. So here we are not writing any other code. So just we are writing printf hello world. So that is the reason we are getting hello world as the output. So even if I want to change any other data, so printf 1 plus 2. Okay. Addition of two numbers. Okay. You can keep it add of addition of two numbers. Two numbers is I need to give comma for the concatenation. Okay, I need to define some variables here. So a equal to 10, b equal to 20. Here we are not defining any. Here we are not declaring any data type also. By default, Python is a dynamic data type. Automatically, it will take it up. So how to check that one is, so print of type of a. Okay. So here, if you type print of type of b also, you can take it. So type of b. Here you can keep, one is float I am taking. So 20.78. So now I need to add those two numbers. So see here, addition of two numbers is 30.78 we are getting. So and here see here, class int, class float we are getting. First one is int type and second one is the float type, and we are getting that one also. Here I need to check that type also. Okay, type of that whole function, type of a plus b now. Okay. So if I type that one, the whole code is float function we are getting. So that is Python is that dynamically data type, dynamically typed data type. Automatically it will take that one. What is the data type of that particular thing? Even if I take str1 equal to, that is a variable. Here I am putting Python programming language. Okay. So if I type print of str1, so it will take that data whatever is installed, and what is the type of that one, you can check it, type of str1. Okay. Now if I run that one, so you are getting Python programming language, and what is the data type of that one? Class string. But in Java, we need to specify each and every data type. So if we go to how to declare variable in Java, okay, you need to compare with different programs so that you can understand more how it is different. So Java variables, right? So here see string name equal to John and system.out.println of name. So if I run that one, you will get the output, right? So you are getting John. So string name equal to John. Instead of that one, I am not giving string data type here. Okay, I'm just editing that one. So directly I'm giving name equal to John. So right now, if I run that one, it will throw the error. So see here, class name, variable name, name equal to John. So it is throwing the error at line 3. That means data type should be, we need to give that one. Explicitly we need to give. But for Python, you don't need to give that one. Implicitly it is taking that data type. Python is a, so that is the reason Python is a statically dynamically data type. Okay. So that is the difference between them. So why we need to go for the Python itself as a fresher or beginner, we can call it as. Okay, it is recommended as first programming language for beginners. So then coming to Python trending. So how the Python trending will be in right now in the market. So if you search for Python programming language and in the Google Trends, so Python programming language versus Java programming language, you can compare with any other programming language also, like .NET I'm taking. Okay, .NET framework. Okay, so if we compare these things, so you can see the comparison between all these programming languages. So how the developing is going on. So this is for, so this is the 93 is the Python here. So 75 is the 75 members are searching for Java, and .NET framework they are searching for 9 members. So throughout the world in Israel, so how much of persons are searching for Python means 70%. So Taiwan, you can see all the reasons, 68 reasons is there. We can search for all the reasons. So go to Google Trends and compare can just search for that particular element and can give what are the programming language you know. Okay, just for the just for comparison purpose, what is the language majorly right now in the trending purpose. So I'm giving Python, Java, network, whatever it may be. You can give any other programming language also, no problem. So you can see the trending purpose here. Okay, in which region they are using mostly. China search, in the China 100 members are searching that one. So this is the blue color, right? So if you Java is there, so this is the Java. Mostly in this region, Java is using that one. This region. Okay, Saudi Arabia mostly they are using. And in coming to Turkey, they are also in the Turkey Python is 45%, Java is 6%, and .NET is 9%. Coming to here, Russia totally 61% they are using Python. Okay, so that is the reason why all the people are moving to Python to in the industry also. So why? Because means in the machine learning algorithms, artificial intelligence, dev, for the web framework, all we are just migrating to Python. So that is the reason we can just start with Python. So it's as a beginners. Okay, so you can just check that one. Okay, all companies are using Python programming language. 1 second, it is loading again. I opened through Webpack, so that is the reason it is loading. Just take a minute. So all companies are using Python programming language to develop the applications, testing and maintenance purpose also. So why the name Python? So why we are calling it as Python means a TV show, Monty Python's Flying Circus was very much popular on show in 1970s. So when he was watching this TV show, Monty Python's Flying Circus, if you search for this particular element, okay, in Google, you can understand more. Okay, here I am typing. Okay, here you can see that one. That is okay. So wiki page. So this is a TV series. When he was watching that series, okay, Monty's Python Flying Circus, also known as simply Monty Python, sometimes abbreviated as M. So that is comes in British BBC channel. Okay, so from there he has taken that name. Okay, and kept that one as a Python. Okay, so Google like this show and given this name to his programming language Python version. So for that one. So first version was released in February 20th, 1991. So as of now, the current version is 3.10, but I explained this one in 3.8. Okay, was released in October 14, 2019. Next one is Python, a high-level language. I already explained there are mainly two types of programming language in this world. One is high-level language, and then second one is low-level language. High-level languages are those which human readable language and easy to understand. Whatever the code I have written, I can able to understand that one, right? So that is known as high level language. And what is known as low level language means computer can't able to understand all the code whatever I have written. I need to convert that one to machine language, right? So low level languages are machine readable language which are in the forms of like bits, ones and zeros form. Okay. So Python is a high level programming language which can be easily understood by humans. That is known as Python, a high level programming language. So next you can see how it is converting from high level language to low level language. So there in computers there will be one called translators will be there. Language translator will be there. So what it will do? So language translators convert programming source code into language that the computer process understand. So processor is there that need to understand which language it is, and then I need to convert that into low level language. So that is known as language translator here. So programming source code has various structures and commands, but the computer process understand only machine language. That is ones and zeros it will be able to understand. So language translators are three types. One is assembler, one is compiler, and is interpreter. So we need to understand these things also now. So this is the main difference between interpreter versus compiler. So first point is interpreter reads every line individually. If it finds error, then it stops processing it and gives the error report. Okay, we are getting the same error. So printf hello world as I have seen previously. So compiler, what it is doing? Compiler processes the entire code. Suppose if I have written 500 lines of code, it will read the whole code, okay, in one go at a time and gives the complete list of errors. Okay. Next point is translate program one statement into at a time. That means each and every line it will take and it will print the data. Next it will go to next line and it will print the data, something like that. So scans the entire program and translate into whole into machine code. Okay. No intermediate object code is generated, hence our memory efficient. That means here compiled code is not there in Python, but we can do check that one also, no problem. So how to check that one means, suppose here this is the file is there, right? So I need to go to that command prompt. So there is one module called py underscore compile module. As of now, there is no, if we go to that particular folder, there is no folder underscore package folder is not there. Whenever I need to compile that particular code, okay, how to do that one is just to go to that particular folder. So here I am doing Python space -m. -m is the module name. Okay. So py underscore compile. Okay. So compile and then I need to give that file name. So demo2.py I am giving. Okay. So here if you go to that particular directory now, it has created underscore package folder. Let's see, 8:26 AM. Just now it has created one folder for us. Just open that particular thing. So here you are seeing .py file, that is compiled Python file. So if you open that particular file, you can't able to understand that one. So why? Because means compiled file is only understood by the machine code only. We can't able to understand that one. So we are just something we are understanding like C users Lenovo desktop and then Python demo something, and then we are adding sys path dot append something sample and all. So that is known as, so this is known as compiled file. We can't able to understand that language. Python is both interpreted and compiled language, but most of the people will think that like Python is a interpreted language only. Okay. So 1 second. So that is the thing. So no intermediate object code is generated, hence are memory efficient. So generates intermediate code, hence require more efficient. So in Java, we need to first compile and then we need to run that one. So that is the intermediate code is also present. So that's why it will take more memory when we are running Java applications or C++ applications or C applications. So programming language like Python, Ruby uses interpreters. Programming language like C, C++ uses compilers. It takes less amount of time to analyze the source code, but the overall execution time is slower. Why? Because means it has to read every line. Okay, if I have written 1000 lines in Python, it has to read each and every line. So for each and every line, if suppose 1 second it will take, for 1000 seconds it will take. For whole code it will take 1000 seconds. That means almost 16 seconds, 16 minutes. Sorry. Okay. But for the compiler, what it will do, it will read the whole code at a time. It will take some time to analyze that code, but whenever it is running, it will just run within fraction of seconds. So this is the main difference between interpreter and compiler. Okay. So here, how it will compile. So compiler means a computer program that translates source code into object code. Object code means machine code. So source code means whatever the code we are writing, high level language version of the program. Object code, the resulting machine code program. What we have seen here. So this is known as object code. We can call it as machine code also, no problem. Okay. Primary reason for compiling source code is to create an executable program. Executable means .exe file. So for Windows, .exe file is needed to execute that particular program. It checks all kinds of limits, ranges, errors, etc. before executing it completely. But the disadvantage is that when an error in the program occurs, it is difficult to pinpoint in the source of the original program. Where exactly the error is present, we can't able to understand that one. Why? Because means this is compiled language, right? We can't able to understand that one. If suppose here I'm trying to print something here, changing that data. Okay, here I'm putting 10 plus 20. So here I'm changing the data. So if I run the same file once again, okay, now if I run the same file again once again here, so it will reload the data here. Okay, see here it is reloading that data. Okay, so we can't able to understand where exactly it is changing that data. That is the reason compiled version is not able to understand by the humans. Okay, next one is so block diagram, how it will change the directory. Source code we are writing, that is high level language like C, C++ or Java, whatever it may be, and it will go to compiler. It looks at the entire piece of the program of the source code, collecting and reorganizing what are the instructions I am doing. So error message will show here, and then it will convert into object code. This is the block diagram of that one, how it will convert. So then interpreter. An interpreter is closely related to the compiler, but takes both source program and input data, whatever it is taking. The basic purpose of interpreter is same as that of compiler, but it can't create a executable file like compiler. That is, exe file it won't generate. It directly execute that particular file. Source code you are giving, like high level language, and then interpreter. Translation by line, and you are getting output. Directly you are getting output. Suppose, so here I need to run that particular file, Python demo2.py. Okay, here it is just running that particular file. It is not converting that one again to compile file. Okay. 1 second, it will run that particular code also. So here you are seeing that all the values, whatever it is running. So up to now, this is the demo session. Any questions up to now? No questions? So that is the demo session. So that I'm just closing that session. If you want to join tomorrow's session also, no problem. You can join.
Can you please explain what is interpreter? Because I have joined a little bit late.
Okay, sure, no problem. So when you run something file, right? Something here I have written some code. Something I'm taking here new file. Okay, a equal to 10. Okay, equal to 20, and I need to add these two numbers. Print of a plus b. Okay. So first, what it will do, it will check each and every line of the code, whatever we are writing. Okay. So here I'm putting demo3.py. Okay. So you can save it that one. So okay, sorry. Save that. So demo3.py. Here we can keep. Demo3.py. Okay. I'm saving that. So this is the file. So first it will take each and every line, like a equal to 10. So first it will read the data and it will store that memory location into Python memory. So and then it is checking b equal to 20, right? So and it will store that memory also, and it will. I need to add those two numbers. So if I go to run that one, okay, just open container folder and cmd Python space demo3.py. Okay. So if you run, you are getting 30 output, right? Each and every line it is checking. So suppose even here I'm not giving direct equal to, okay, I'm not assigning, I'm directly giving a10, something like that. Okay, it has to read that data, right? Okay, now if I run that one, it will throw the error at first line itself. So see here, syntax error, invalid syntax. Line by line checking, we can call it as interpreter. But whole code, suppose if I have written 1000 lines of code in Java or C++ or C, it will read the whole code, whatever we are writing. Okay, if there is any errors, it will go to the next line. But what it will throw the errors at end, whatever we are writing errors. And also one more thing, here we are not defining any data type also, like int a equal to 10. Okay, suppose here I'm assigning that variable, but I'm giving int. Okay, right now if I run that one also, it will throw the error this here itself, syntax error one. See here, int a equal to 10. That means already the Python can able to recognize that one. Why you are again giving that explicitly? So if I run now, it will work. So that is the interpreter kind of thing. So line by line execution, we can call it as interpreter. Compiler means each and 1000 lines of code I have written, in that some error is there at 400th line. Okay, it won't stop there. It will just read the whole code and it will throw the errors at end only. You got my point now?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Right.
Yeah, no problem. So that is the demo session. So I'm just closing the session for today. Okay. Thanks guys for joining the session. So I'm stop recording session.